This is a story about Bruce. Bruce, well, he's a little bit of a grumpy bear. Mother Bruce was written by Ryan T. Higgins and provided by Scholastic Books. And I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to Scholastic Books for allowing us the free opportunity to share your books with children who are stuck at home during this crisis. Mother Bruce. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump. He did not like sunny days. He did not like rain. He did not like cute little animals. Bruce only liked one thing: eggs. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. He collected them from all over the forest. Bruce didn't eat eggs raw like other bears. Instead, he cooked them into fancy recipes that he found on the internet. He's a very tech-savvy bear. It mentions that he's a grump. I think that's important to know moving forward. One day, Bruce came across a recipe for hard-boiled goose eggs, drizzled with honey salmon sauce. So he went out to get the ingredients. First, he caught a few salmon. He liked to support local business, you see, and he collected them from honey from a local beehive. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a visit. Are these eggs free range, organic? At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling. I love hard boiled eggs with a little bit of salt. But the fire in his stove fizzled, so he went out to get more wood. Fizzled. That's a good word, fizzled. What does that mean? That's right, it went out. The fire went out. Which way do you like this sentence? The fire in his stove fizzled, or the fire in his stove went out? I like fizzled too. It sounds more fun. So he went out to get more wood. When Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. Mama! Bruce became the victim of mistaken identity. What do you think he means by mistaken identity? That's right. That's not their mama, but they think it is. Identity means how you are perceived by others. What's your position? You have a mama, and you have a dada, and you have a grandma and grandpa. They didn't have anybody now, did they? But they thought that was his mama. So that is his new identity. Bruce wanted hard-boiled eggs, not goslings. He supposed he could settle for buttered goslings on toast. But for some reason, he lost his appetite. Bruce scooped up the little geese and stomped back to their nest. I will have to ask Mrs. Goose about her return policy. Be back in April, Mrs. Goose. Only to find Mrs. Goose had flown south early. What do you suppose he means by return policy? Yeah, he wants to take them back and get his money back. Bruce left the goslings there anyway, and went back home. Oh no. Mama, Mama! But he was followed. Bruce was very stern and said things like, "Go away," and "I'm not your mother," and also, "I liked you better when you were eggs." Roar! Bruce could take it no longer and became extra grumpy with them. Those poor little geese. Earlier, he was described as a grump. Now he's described as grumpy. Does it mean the same thing? Yes, it does, in a way. A grump describes the bear. Grumpy describes his attitude. It didn't work. Goslings always follow their mother, even if she is a he and he is a bear. Mama? Bruce was stuck with them. He tried to make the best of it. It was hard work. That's right, they're painting. They've got paint on him. What's he wearing? A baby belly sack, that's right. This one says, bleh. This one says, ew. And this one says, yuck. What does bleh mean? You can't even say that word without saying, like making a face that says, ew, yuck. All of those things combined. And look, they're all snoozing on the log. Annoying baby geese. Stubborn teenage geese. Boring adult geese. As the seasons passed, Bruce watched the pesky goslings grow older. Then one fall afternoon he saw other goose families flying south. Finally, he'd be rid of those geese, and he could take a long winter's nap. Bruce explained migration. What's migration? Migration is when the geese are older and they fly south where it's warmer during the winter months. Twice a year we can see them going over in big flocks, flying in like big V patterns. That's right. And some people like to go hunting for geese when that happens. But they didn't listen. So I guess him trying to convince them to migrate didn't work. Bruce needed the geese to leave. So he got creative. What is he going to do? He slingshot. He's built a slingshot. It's going to send them flying whether they like it or not. Nothing worked. The geese would not leave Bruce. How do you think he feels right now? He's upset, tired, frustrated. That's a good word. He's frustrated. He keeps trying and nothing works. So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take his geese into town. They boarded a bus. Look at his face. It's like he's saying, please make this work. Please make this work. And they all migrated to Miami. Now every winter Bruce and his geese head south together. They laze about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice-cold lemonade, while Bruce dreams of new recipes, recipes that don't hatch. That looks like a good time to me right now, doesn't it, you? You know, right here, the author could have just chosen to say they went to the beach, but he didn't do that, did he? He describes it with a lot of colorful words. Words like lays about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice cold lemonade. I can taste it. He does a very good job of describing that. Makes me want to be there. Mama? So that is the story of Mother Bruce. I hoped you liked our story, and I wanted to ask you a couple of quick questions. Do you recall how the author provided a setting? What did he do to give us a time period for this book? Was it made back in, was it written to be back way in the old days when the colonies were first starting? No, no. Why do you say that? Because he actually used references to modern things. That's right, modern. That talks about, that describes today's time period. And we can see those references right here. He's on the internet. Well, first of all, bears don't usually get on the internet, but we have internet that helps us do our school now, doesn't it? They didn't have that back in the colonies, that's right. And another place he actually sets the mood, there's that computer again. He mentions the local beehive and supporting local business. That's a nice reference to today. Another place where he talks about is free range organic. That's a modern thing that we recognize now, isn't it? So this is set in modern times. That's right. There's a bus. So we know that there's transportation in this form. So good ideas. Good catch. All right. Let's talk about, what does organic mean anyway? Does anybody know? Organic means fresh from the farm without antibiotics. That's right, without antibiotics. Okay, so we have a bear who is trying to accomplish something. What is it he trying to do? He's trying to tell the geese to go away, the goslings. And then what happens? They grow up, yes. Do they ever leave? No, he was not successful in persuading them to leave. So do you think the author was trying to get us to understand different ways to persuade somebody to do something? Yes, that's right. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to get out your journals and you're going to write something about a situation you find yourself in and how you would try and persuade someone to leave you alone. Okay. Any other questions? Awesome. All right, let's get writing. Thanks very much for listening.